In the air. You can always tell when sports history's in the making, can't you?
I don't know, Alice. Can you?
Sure you can. Oh, look, there he is.
Mr. Leroy, tell us, is Donnie ready?
He's ready.
That mean we can expect a record?
He's got the record.
Not AAU, world.
Well, imagine the pressure on that boy. You'd think it was the Olympic tryout instead of just an ordinary league meet.
Swimmers up. Take your mark.
Leroy's time for the first 100 meters, 56 and 3/10 seconds. 3/10 seconds ahead of his own AAU record. That's only 2/10 off the world mark.
Was it? Shoulder cramp? What? Why'd you quit? I don't know, Dad. What do you mean you don't know? I just quit.
Oh, Pete, glad you're here.
Well, I'm glad you're glad. What's up?
Donnie's father was waiting on the steps at 7 o'clock this morning when the custodian opened up. He's in there with Mr. Kaufman, but he really wants to see you.
Why me?
Well, from what I gathered, he blames you for Donnie quitting yesterday.
Quitting? The paper said he pulled a muscle. Huh?
Had to tell him something. If I told him he just quit for no apparent reason, they'd tear him to shreds. Look what they did to Jim Ryan.
Come in. Hi, Pete.
Dixon, do you have any idea how long I've been waiting for you?
I'm sorry, Mr. Leroy, I just heard. Pete, did you have any idea that Donnie was going to quit in the middle of that race yesterday? No, I didn't. Why?
Dixon, I don't know if it's you personally or the school or what. My boy says he doesn't want to swim anymore. Now, this notion had to come from somewhere.
What did Donnie say?
That he's old enough to make his own decisions, set his own goals. Nonsense that he says came straight from you.
Mr. Leroy, outside of his studies, the only thing that your son and I ever talked about was swimming.
Then why is it he quotes you as if you were one of the big authorities over his life? Mr. Dixon says life is for living.
He probably has taken something I said in class and built a case on it.
What you say in class is not what I am concerned with. It is what the two of you must have been talking about all those afternoons when Donnie was late for practice. Now, you're not going to tell me he wasn't with you.
Yes, we were together, but I assumed you knew why.
You see, Mr. Leroy, Donnie is an average student, but with all the time he's missed this semester competing, his grades have dropped considerably. He was in danger of becoming ineligible for any outside activity, including swimming. Mr. Dixon volunteered to tutor him on his own time so that that wouldn't happen.
Well, maybe I'm wrong to blame you personally, but this decision of his had to come from somewhere. I just don't know the answer. That's why I'm here.
Well, we can
sympathize with your concern. Didn't Donnie give you any kind of a clue that something like this was about to happen?
Well, I'll admit, Donnie and I, there's a lot we don't share. But what we did share was the most important thing in both our lives, swimming. Don't you understand? The only thing I've ever wanted for him was to know the excitement, the feeling that you can't give a name to that comes with being a champion athlete. Yesterday he was so close to that. Today he's just another kid.
Well, it's any consolation to you, 16 seems to be the universal age for dropping out. They all seem to do it one way or another. Some do it by growing their hair long, and some by burning down schools. I don't know, maybe Donnie is an average kid. Maybe...
This morning at 6 o'clock, when I tried to get him up for his morning workout, I found the door to his room locked. He said he was going to sleep in. Now, this may sound strange to you, but my son has never slept in. Never in his life.
Sorry I'm late, but we'll have to do our best to catch up tomorrow. Oh, push on to chapter 21 and 22, and don't forget, the term reports are due 2 weeks from today.
Hey, man, don't let them hassle you. Just because you're a celebrity and all that doesn't mean they own you.
Thanks, Chase. Well, I guess you finally met my father, huh?
Well, it could have been under better circumstances, but yes, I met him. Tell me something, Donnie. How did he get the impression that I had something to do with what happened yesterday?
Well, he did, Mr. Dixon. If it weren't for you, I might never have done it.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, I guess I started growing up a little bit. Started thinking for myself, all the things we talked about.
We?
Well, not personally, I mean in class.
Oh. Are you saying that you, quit for me or for yourself?
Well, for me, of course.
Well, that's good.
You're not down on me for what I did. Because if you are, I'd probably go back to swimming right now.
No, I'm not down on you. But, Donnie, I think you're missing the point. If you really started thinking for yourself, then you should know exactly why you quit. I mean, it was your decision. So it doesn't really matter what your father or I think. You're the one who has to live with it.
Yeah, I guess so. Mr. Dixon, do you have any idea what my life has been like up to now? Other kids have hobbies. I've had swimming. Other kids have dates. I've had swimming. Other kids have fathers. I've had a coach. Since I've been born, it's been like a full-time career instead of a sport. Can you dig it, a 2-year-old with a career?
But don't the rewards make up for most of that?
Rewards? Once you've seen your name in the paper a couple of times, so much for that thrill. At 20, when you're over the hill, if you're lucky, you become a coach. If you aren't, you open up a bar and hope that somebody gets around to naming a swimsuit for you, some rewards. Well, yesterday, it hit me it didn't have to be like that. You know what I did this morning?
You slept in.
Yeah. He told you, huh? What a fantastic experience. Just lying there, getting my head together, just not even thinking, really, just
lying there.
Yeah. A whole hour with nothing to do. Maybe that's what I've missed most, just being a plain, old, ordinary person for a change.
Is that why you quit?
I guess so. Big part of it, anyway.
Well, you better get going. It'll be late for class.
Thanks, Mr. Dixon. Camera club. Hey, what's the camera club?
Oh, it's easy. You take pictures, develop them yourself.
You know what you do is you stake yourself out a corner downtown. You wait for somebody to come by and you say, hey, man, you want to buy some dirty pictures?
Hey, Bertie, that's really funny. I don't think it's funny.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what you really dig is the radio club.
I didn't know we had one. Doesn't know we have a radio club. Yeah, well, it's new this year. Hey, we need a new sportscaster. You know, Koufax did it when he retired. Dandy, Don Meredith, Howard Cosell. Come here, let me show you.
Cold ma'am.
Hi, everybody. Jason, I didn't know you had aspirations to be a thespian.
I don't, Miss Johnson. I just stopped by to give Chicken Little here, you know, some moral support. Come on, man, get up here and show these dudes your stuff.
That's okay, Miss Johnson. I can wait my turn.
No, come on, Larry. You and Pam start. Act 2, Scene 1, Oregon and Marianne. Okay?
Marianne.
Father,
Come here. I want to speak to you in confidence.
what are you looking for?
I want to see if there's any eavesdropping.
Hi.
There, for that
Here's
kind
tryout?
of place they chose to hide.
Yeah, I came in earlier and picked up one of these.
Now, Marianne.
I've been practicing.
You've always had a
The
gentle
sign didn't say open tryouts.
Right. But I think I should tell you, just in case you get the part, it's going to take up an awful lot of your time. I mean, we start rehearsals at 3:30, and we don't finish until close to 6.
You should be very
3:30, huh? I got a camera club at 3. That's no sweat. Oh, I told Bernie I'd help him out in the radio station at 3:30. I don't suppose I could have
Now tell me.
a chance to come in at 4?
I'm afraid not.
Wait, I could do the radio thing at 12. And then all I'd have to do is think of another time to do the camera thing.
It sounds to me like you have a pretty full schedule already. Why don't you just wait till next semester to get into drama club?
Are you kidding, Miss Johnson? This is too good of a chance to pass up. Look, I've already got it figured out. I'll take the pictures for camera club in the morning before school.
Fine with me. But isn't that going to be a drag getting up so early in the morning?
No, not for me. Till this week I was never up later than 6. Believe me, Miss Johnson, I'll never miss that extra hour in the sack.
Chester A. Arthur, Forgotten Patriot or Robber Baron. That an original title, Jason?
Sure, Mr. Dixon. Originally, it was on the book I found in the library.
Well, glad you could make it, Donnie. Oversleep?
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Dixon. Here's my report.
Oh, Donnie, got a moment?
Can't wait till later, Mr. Dixon. And as I say, folks, it's just a small technical difficulty. No sportscaster.
Hit it, champ. You're on.
I spoke to Donnie's father again today. We're getting to be old friends.
You still blaming us for what happened?
No, he's worried about his son. Pete, do you think Donnie's little experiment at being his own man is kind of falling apart?
Not necessarily.
I don't know. I think somebody's got to give that boy a little guidance. Liz tells me that in 2 short weeks, his grades have dropped from a borderline B to a C. Now, that's not a reason to panic yet, but I have asked her to talk to him.
Well, she better make an appointment, because he's a very, very busy man.
Pete, why don't you talk to him? The way that boy feels about you, he'd probably do anything you say.
That's what I'm afraid of. That boy is so conditioned to people telling him what to do that his own freedom is the toughest thing he's ever had to face.
So what are you suggesting?
Wait it out. The only thing that I can do is be there when he falls on his face. Not necessarily to pick him up, but just to point out what he tripped over.
Clearly, it tortures her to look at me. I'd better free her from the painful...
Hey. Larry. What are you doing my part for?
Keep on going, everybody.
Hey, Miss Johnson, what's going on?
Come here, I'd like to see...
I know I'm late. If that's it, I'm sorry.
I've replaced you in the play, Donnie.
See if there's any...
You're not just late. You're 15 minutes late. And it's not the first time.
Miss Johnson, I know my part better than anyone. You said so yourself. Come on, you can't just throw me out for being late a few times.
What if you happen to be 15 minutes late for a performance?
I just wouldn't be, that's all.
Look, those kids are here because they chose drama over any other activity they could be doing. Now, why are you here?
Because I've always wanted to act.
Then maybe you should have concentrated on this and given up your other activities.
Yeah, but I always wanted to do those other activities, too. There's no rule that says I can't be in more than one activity.
No. But you see, I have my rule, Donnie. It's not easy putting on one of these extravaganzas. And I have to expect everyone to be here at least on time.
Especially if you're afraid that they might quit at any moment.
You've always had a gentle character.
Donnie,
I've always been fine.
my decision wasn't in any way personal. I've been more lenient with you than I should have been. We all have. Just to show you that we weren't down on you.
Very ready to accept my debt.
I'm sorry if I had hurt you like this.
Sure you are, Miss Johnson. The whole world loves a quitter, right? It's really fun to make them show how human they are.
Do I think?
Hey, Helen. Hey, what's happening?
Hi, Donnie. How come you're not in play practice?
Who needs it? Listen, everything's cool for tonight, isn't it?
Look, I don't want to get into a whole number, but let's forget about it, huh? You're a nice guy, but...
You're not still mad at me for standing you up last week, are you?
No, not so much that. It was the night you did show up. That's all you talked about was how busy you were. Look, I know you haven't had that much experience with girls, but how do I say this in a nice way? That can be a little dull. Listen, if you can't dig honesty, then you'll probably hate me for the rest of your life. But if you can, then maybe we'll try it again sometime. Okay?
Oh, wait, now Koufax did it. Dandy Don Meredith. Howard Cosell. Now, how can you go wrong?
Donnie? Excuse me. Can I see you for a minute? I'd like to talk to you about something.
Gang up on the quitter, right, Miss McIntyre? Teach him that he can't disappoint the sports fans of America.
What are you talking about?
I know my grades have slipped, but don't worry too much about it because I've learned my lesson.
What lesson? What happened?
Read what? I've been coming to the house 1-2 a day for the last 2 weeks. There ain't letters, Mr. Dixon. People comparing me to Benedict Arnold.
What do you mean?
Nothing except I've learned my lesson. You and Dad were right. I had no business quitting swimming.
I never said that.
All right, so my dad said it then. What difference does it make? I don't have any other choice, so I'm going back to swimming.
Because it's a nice, easy retreat.
No. Because I'm a flop at everything else, just being a normal person.
Well, what you've been doing the past couple of weeks hasn't been exactly what you're living a normal life. It's been more like setting yourself up for a fall.
Mr. Dixon, I just wanted to do the things I couldn't do before.
All at one time?
All right, so maybe I overdid it a little.
What happened to that peaceful hour in the sack you enjoyed so much?
I don't know. Mr. Dixon, how do you just cool it when you've never done it before?
I think you start by liking yourself well enough to be alone. Like you did that first morning after you quit. Enough to laugh at yourself. Don't expect it all to happen at once.
Maybe it's already too late.
What do you mean?
Swimming is what I do best, and a person ought to do what he does best.
Behold the American high school teacher hard at work shaping the minds of tomorrow.
How you doing?
It's time for you to take me home and give me one of your famous back rubs.
Well, Donnie's father called about a half an hour ago and asked me to come down to the pool.
I wonder what for.
To apologize, probably. I think he gives me credit for Donnie's going back to swimming.
Oh, are you going?
I haven't decided yet.
Well, you know, he's really been straightening out academically if the last 3 days are any indication. But have you noticed anything different about him?
Like what?
Well, I don't know, but it's like he's just going through the paces. Look, I can always rub my own back until you get there.
Two minutes flat. A few more days, it'll all be back. Just you watch. Hey, it feels good getting back in shape, right? Huh?
Great, Dad.
Okay, go take a hot one. Stay in there so long you can fall asleep standing up. Mr. Leroy? Hey! Actually, I just wanted to apologize to you for sounding off the other day over at Kaufman's office like I did.
Oh, that's all right. Forget it. I know how you felt. How's he coming along?
Who, Donnie? Great. Just recorded his best time all week. Hey, you want some tickets to Santa Clara? They're yours for the asking, as many as you want.
Maybe I'll take you up on it.
Good. You know, I never did get your first name. My name's Sid.
Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
Pete is Donnie's teacher. Maybe you can see things more objectively than I can. I mean, those 2 weeks were murder, and I had time to think about a lot of things, and I'm not sure that I've been doing the right thing with Donnie and his career all these years.
Well, I'm afraid I can't answer that for you.
No, I suppose you can't. I don't know. My own dreams were so frustrated, I guess. You see, my dad thought the only road to travel was law, and he pushed me so hard that I wound up doing what he least expected. I started training to be a champion swimmer. What I couldn't see at the time was that I started too late to ever be more than a bush leaguer. So now I put enough into law to get by, and I try to put into Donnie what I didn't get from my dad. Pete, he's not just a good swimmer. Maybe he's the best there ever was. He could win 3 gold medals in Munich and just own that town. I know he could.
What happens when he's past his peak?
He'd never have to raise a finger. Endorsements alone would make him a rich man. Don't you see, the one irrefutable point is that swimming is what he does best.
Who says we have to do what we do best? When I was in school, I played football best. But I personally felt that I'd have a more satisfying life if I became a school teacher.
Well, maybe I ought to let him make up his own mind for a change.
He tried that, but he fell flat on his face.
Maybe it's time I started to help him explore his life and on his terms.
I'm sure that little plan ought to keep both of you busy for quite some time. See you.
Will you please go get the book before they lock up the classrooms?
Look, man, it's your book. Why don't you go get it?
Because you left it there.
Well, look at it this way, man. I'm more tired than you. I had a test today in Spanish.
Yeah, well, I spent half the night working on a report.
All right, man. But I'm telling you to be there in the morning.
Oh, sorry, Jace.
Hey, look, man. Why is it every time I see you running, didn't nobody ever tell you you can get a heart attack that way?
At my age? Hey, listen, I'm late for swimming practice, so I better get going.
Hey, wait a minute, man. You go into swimming practice like that?
Oh, I was kind of rushed. I only have one line now, but Miss Johnson has this thing of everybody staying till rehearsal's over.
Look, man, the thing you gotta do is relax more, man. Have a seat, cool it. Just sit down and don't let things hassle you so much.
Okay, but just for a few minutes.
Hey, man, forget about that, man. You know when a few minutes is over.
Why does he always do this to me?